All right, welcome back to Perdido Key Gaming. Today we got some more role-playing game sporting material. Just got in from the yard, still hacking away at the damage incurred by the hurricane, good old Hurricane Sally. She rolled through just short of us and trash place. But anyway, but today we got some role-playing game sporting material in the form of good old Dragon magazine. These are some of the newer ones. I started collecting these back in, I think, 1980. This one's from June 2004. So I think I got most of the issues from like issue 44 through the time that it went digital and you couldn't get the print version anymore. But yeah, like I said, these are some of the newer ones. Some of them have seen better days, of course. But these Dragon magazines, I guess there's more or less a couple of different ages, or, stages of the Dragon magazine. I mean, when it first came out, it was all wargaming, and that's how Dungeons & Dragons got started, via wargaming. They had the strategic review. They did that for something like 8 issues, and they switched to The Dragon. And it was kind of, pretty light on the content at the start. A lot of stuff had to be written by Gary Gygax, the guy who, basically wrote Dungeons & Dragons. And it was house organ, but there was a lot of reviews and stuff for other games and things like that. Somewhere around, I want to say issue 30 or something like that, it started to become a little more professional, changed its name to Dragon. And it seems like the content slowly even more got more focused on Dungeons & Dragons and things like that. And then what I like to call like the golden age of Dragon magazine was like issues, I think like 70, 60 through 200, really a lot of content, a lot of different stuff, a lot of, fancy tables, a lot of new races, new character classes, new monsters, new everything. It was, absolutely, I think the best time for Dragon magazine. Then when, that's all, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition, basically. But, I had some excellent articles in my humble opinion, and a lot of good content. Once it hit, 3rd edition came out, then it started getting all punky and, the whole, everybody's punked out and, things like that. And it became a little iffier. It was all 3rd edition. You couldn't, you absolutely, positively couldn't really get anything really totally interesting. I still got the magazine, from various locations and things like that, and game stores, and still read it. Went from back, first page to back page. Read the comics. It had some great comic strips in this. Phil and Dixie was my favorite. Phil Foglio and his wife, who both did art for Magic the Gathering cards. But that was my favorite comic strip. I think it was extremely funny, and Nodwick's pretty good too. Knights of the Dinner Table, things like that. But anyway, but there used to be a lot of reviews. I remember they had the first computer game review and clue section in the Dragon magazine, which was, absolutely fantastic. Good advertisements, Pro Fantasy. I still use Pro Fantasy when making maps. I really need to get back on it because, past month or 2 months, I haven't really been working on my Rollmaster stuff. But yeah, it used to have a lot of good articles and things like that. And, you know, for if you were 3rd edition, and I'm not real sure about 4th edition. When I think they went 4th edition, 5th edition, it was digital by then. You just, you know, no, I just don't have time to get the app and, you know, deal with the app to get my Dragon magazines. But definitely a lot of stuff. You know, of course, they had to do the D&D movie, which, you know, absolutely went nowhere. But lots of stuff in these magazines. The Dragon magazine, if you know, it used to have a story every issue, fantasy story every issue, and some were written by, you know, some pretty good authors. I think the guy who did Game of Thrones did a couple of stories that showed up in Dragon magazine. And of course, you know, the you know, lots of Game Master, how to, you know, handle situations and stuff. See Ben Bova, his author in here. Lots of stuff. I mean, it was pretty good. It was, you know, I think it was a lot of the stuff in the Dragon magazine was pretty cool. But you know, the you know, 24 magic items, 9 monsters, 11 feats. And a lot of them were like that for the 3rd edition. You know, it was just feats and monsters and skills and prestige classes and things like that. And, but you know, like I like to do with these, a lot of this stuff can be converted over. 75 feet, 8 classes, 7 monsters. You know, a lot of this stuff can be modified for other gaming systems. If you ask me, it might take a little bit to do that, but. Here's an interesting Best of the Dragon. This was Game Gallery. I think that was Monterey, California, over there in Carmel. But this is volume 4, pretty good condition, I must say so myself. 1985. There was a lot of the articles from older Dragon magazines. The Bandit. Don't know why it's in lowercase, but whatever. They all are. Bounty Hunter, Cloistered Cleric. You know, their attempts at more classes that were, you know, different than the classes that were in the player's handbook. The Jester, of course, the Scribe. You know, a lot of supportive type classes, anyway. But, so those were always kind of cool, the best of the best. Here's volume 3. I have volume 1, volume 2, but I don't think they're in very good condition, you know, like this one. But you know, everything, evil classes, like I said, this is all 3rd edition era. Here's an older one, number 165. Still hanging out, pretty good condition. I think you can still get these off of eBay and things like that from gaming stores and things like that. What was really hilarious is the prices for the actual auction prices for these old Dragon magazines, you know, like the ones I had that were in still pretty good condition, just kept rising and rising and rising over the years. And then I forget what year it was, TSR went ahead and dumped all the magazines, scans of all the magazines in PDF format on the DVDs or CDs or something like that, and you know, it was searchable. But the thing is, all the PDFs you could just drag off the discs, and you know, you would find them everywhere, and all of a sudden all the prices of the old Dragon magazines just dropped like a rock. So, you know, I remember some of the ones I had were worth, hey kitty, some of the ones were worth quite a few dollars, you know, more. it was like $30 and $40 and things like that, dropped like a rock when TSR did that. And there was no copy protection or anything. You could just, as a matter of fact, my significant other at the time got me a copy, and it was great. You could just read all the Dragon magazines you wanted, and very nice, and especially these days, you put them on a device, and travel along with it and everything like that. So, but yeah, Forgotten Realms, Drakes, Dragons. This looks like it's still second edition, things like that. Yep, definitely second edition. But yeah, that's kind of sort of it on Dragon Magazine. You know, you can totally see the difference here between the punked out version, you know, in this magazine versus the, you know, the older second edition artwork. You know, here they just wanted to be punks. They wanted to have that whole you know, goth punk people. Everybody's tattooed with different hair color type thing for third edition. Yeah, all right, whatever. But yeah, that's about it. All I got really for Dragon Magazine. Like I said, you can still find them everywhere, off of eBay or some other, you know, online game stores and stuff. Yeah, it's always good reading. You know, flip through them. Not sure what the prices are like. You know, it's really too bad that these old magazines aren't worth more. But hey, I mean, $2.61 with the ability to scan everything. You unfortunately get pirated, and of course the original material just ain't gonna, you know, hold its value. But anyway, woe is me. Anyway, leave me a comment. Let me know if you collect Dragon magazines. Hit like, hit subscribe, and everybody take care out there. And if you're cleaning up down here and on the Emerald Coast, please be careful. Don't work too much, and give yourself coronary here in this this kind of hot weather we still got. Anyway, catch you on the flip.